Dan Kochis is a policy analyst in European affairs in the Margaret Thatcher Center for Freedom, and he joins us now live. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Daniel. So Ukraine's President Poroshenko has urged NATO to send ships to the Sea of Azov. Isn't this a tall order from a non-NATO member state? I mean, does NATO have the capacity or will even to send troops or ships to defend a non-member?
Well, so certainly that's an important point. Of course, Ukraine is not a member of NATO, but is a close partner country with NATO. I think sending ships at the moment to the Sea of Azov would probably inflame the situation. I think probably a better road that NATO could do would be to send, for instance, the head of the U.S. 6th Fleet, which is based in Europe, to Mariupol to assess the situation. And of course, I think also, NATO needs to be increasing its presence within the Black Sea, generally speaking. The U.S., of course, since 2014 has about halved its presence in the Black Sea year over year. France the same way, Spain, Italy. So I think that NATO clearly has sort of left the Black Sea as an open space, I think, in recent years after an initial sort of surge of activity. And I think that that could be something that can be rectified moving forward.
So, I mean, does Europe view this latest Russian aggression against Ukraine as a grave threat? Europe and NATO didn't do much apart from issue condemnations when Russia invaded and annexed Crimea. So why should it be different this time?
The timing on this was not accidental. Vladimir Putin's approval ratings at home, I think, are sort of hitting the skids. You also have the U.S. saying that it's going to be giving 2 Coast Guard vessels to Ukraine. The UK announced that it would be increasing the number of military officials sent to Ukraine for training. And of course, domestically within Ukraine, you also have a constitutional amendments going through the Rada talking about their interest in joining the EU and NATO. So I think that, Russia clearly is using this to sort of derail some of those efforts, to continue to put pressure on the country of Ukraine. And I think that a robust response needs to be taken by the U.S., by the UK, by NATO, because otherwise I think Russia is going to continue this aggressive activity. It's been going on in the Sea of Azov now for some time, and I don't see it abating anytime soon without sort of a strong pushback.
So you think the timing is important, but Putin has accused Poroshenko of creating a naval provocation to boost his ratings ahead of the 2019 elections. Do you think this is the case?
Well, I think it's important to remember that the reason that this became an issue to begin with is because, of course, Russia annexed Crimea and built a bridge and then has been blocking shipping and slowing it for the past few months. And, of course, now has taken 24 Ukrainian soldiers hostage, is parading them in front of the cameras. So, I think that's a lot of rhetoric from the Russians. They're very good at this, at creating crises and then sort of trying to push off the blame for that on the Ukrainians. There was, the recent moves by Petro Poroshenko, but those are temporary and will be, the martial law will be stopped well before the Ukrainian elections. So I think that we need to separate sort of the rhetoric of Russia from their actions.
Well, many thanks for that insight, Daniel Kochis.